Kijana chetu cha ukombozi kimeta mta maendeleo yawe kwa watu na si kwa vitu.
AHEAD's mission is very important because it provides health services to people who otherwise would not have access to health services.
For 12 years, AHEAD, Adventures in Health, Education, and Agricultural Development, has been saving lives in Tanzania. Co-founder Elvira Williams says accessible medical care is desperately needed in villages across Africa.
Individuals found their way to health centers by oxen carts or by bicycles, and most of the time it was really too late. By the time they got to the health facility, it was too late.
In a country where the infant mortality rate is 18 times higher than the U.S., 150 children die per year for every 1,000 births. AHEAD is making a difference.
Many of the individuals die from malnutrition. We've been able to provide interventions that will help mothers to understand how to improve feeding for the infant, a more balanced diet for the children. And once they have begun to work with the child, we've seen some remarkable turnarounds.
Beyond providing health care, AHEAD teaches families how to combat starvation, disease, poverty, and lack of technology. The villagers are learning how to grow more nutritious food and improve their lives. The goal is self-empowerment.
People are very poor, so what we're trying to do is to provide some startup money for mothers or for women predominantly to do small businesses. We realize that if mothers get money, then the money is invested in the family for food, for education for the children, for clothing for the children.
Other AHEAD projects include building tanks to collect rainwater for the dry season and harnessing solar power to refrigerate vaccines.
The lack of safe drinking water is such a major threat to the health of people worldwide, especially infants and children. In rural areas of Shinyanga, women walk for miles to get water from holes dug in riverbeds, which is highly contaminated. AHEAD and Solar Cookers International have introduced a process to pasteurize water through the use of solar energy. This process kills E. coli, cholera, rotaviruses, and other bacteria in the water, making it safe to drink.
Professionals and student volunteers from America, the Caribbean, and Europe help run AHEAD's programs. Nurse Sue Ellen Manning found it was an eye-opening learning experience.
I think probably the most startling thing was the first morning walking into the room, and there was a metal card table, and a couple of chairs, and a woman who was translating for me, and a table, an exam table that was bare, and the patient and me, and that was it.
Student volunteers from more than 30 colleges and universities have had the opportunity to work side by side with their African counterparts in community projects.
AHEAD is probably one of the most cost-effective organizations that I've ever had the privilege of working with. Dr. and Mrs. Williams have been able to work a small miracle with the organization through its work with volunteers and the contributions that people like you and I make. They're able to literally feed the multitudes with one small loaf of bread. I've had an opportunity to travel throughout the Shinyanga district in Tanzania, which is one of the most challenging regions in the whole country. And I've seen villages where hospitals have been assisted with solar energy. I've seen health centers built.
In addition to Tanzania, AHEAD operates in the U.S. and the Gambia. And 13 other African countries have requested AHEAD services. Co-founder Dr. Irving Williams says you can donate in two ways.
Well, first of all, we need money. And secondly, we need dedicated people to give assistance to many of the projects that we're presently working on and those projects that we're looking forward to working on.
This is an organization comprised of very average people doing exceptional things, you know, in a country or in a part of the world that has long been neglected.
With your support, AHEAD will make a difference.
Ni